Should be here. Uh, should be
Alright,
here.
it works now. So, for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes, it's currently like 4 or 5. This 1 hour and 30 minutes, I'll be working on coding. Alright, I'll be working coding. And, yeah, let's go for it. Alright, deep work session, coding. So for let me go. So let me see what do I need to work on. So work sessions, coding. So let me create a file for these sessions. The night. So let's say lead code, a little bit of lead code. So 30 minutes of lead code. Then we can move on to CS50 and maybe even some of HTML and CSS. So let's try to make one lead code problem, and then we can move on to CS50 and HTML. Okay, sounds good. I believe tonight is gonna be JavaScript. I don't really care. Okay, keep going. Oh, I should call it history. No, record. Let me see. Notes. Yeah, we can say notes on DS is DW or D work. Link. Okay, that was embarrassing. Okay, let's start. What? I don't want to do this. This seems easy. Given a string S consists of words and space, returns the length of the last word in the string. Hello world. Okay, the last word is with length 5. Fly me to the moon. The last word with length 4. Luffy is still Joy Boy. The last word. One Piece reference? What? Okay, that's crazy. Space. Okay, so. Okay. Oh, hello world. Okay. So how can we code this? What's it called? Length of last word. So land word. Yeah, let's call it that. D. No. G. Wait. Wait, that's wrong. Name equal. Actually, let me just get that. Hello world. Alright, so. It's probably not gonna work though. It's gonna give an S. Okay. So I guess the best thing is to divide to. Let me see. just need to do this one first, then I'm done. For in this go at least. Okay, I got a way to do this. Okay, so string without spaces, door replace. Alright, so open. So we'll copy that and then go here and be like, okay. String without spaces equal to as replace. Okay, so and then probably make that. And then I try to go back. -1, -2, -3. So at equal -1. Well, character. So character is not equal to, I don't know, say 0. 0. So character. Uh, okay. Character equal to 1. Okay. So word, last word. So let's create a last word that's empty. Look, their character is less than, it's equal to that. So uh, let's call these no no space. Here we go. Uh, no space. Okay. So we got pen lost word append guess it's not really a function, eh? That's not real. So the replace function doesn't work. Okay then. So it should be giving us D. Doesn't even give us the nice. Even that, brother. Okay, let me see how the pen works again. So squares is equal to square s times 2 squares the append square. Okay. I mean, works append s and then I need one. Should I use this? Cause it's the same thing, brother. No, character equal to 1. There we go. Let's see the set. Replace. So we need a function like replace. there's no way the function is real. If s is equal to, I don't know, w character is not equal to 0, and now it should be just okay. That's not it. Guys, it should just be w. What is going on? So 0. Gosh. -1 maybe. How about -1? -1. Alright, I guess for now I'll retreat. Hey, it works here though. It works here. Oh, it works here. I'll try to do here then. Okay, so okay here. If oh, so I can use the space. If s is equal to say space, then that's actually the character now becomes 0. Is he gonna D really? It's -1, so okay, so if f is at if s if s of x, no, maybe here like that. Oh, now we got that. Land of wait, land of last word, the work. One. is test case number 2 in this case. Just one. If S of x if S of S of layer 1 is equal to okay, if S okay, last word append that's so complicated. What the freak? Alright, I guess I'll just go to C50.
Start at n, follow the arrow, access the next pointer, and set it equal to whatever list equals. So if list is pointing here, then next should point there as well. Trace answer just as we see here. So a subtle bug, but one that's very easily fixed with that there f. But there's something else worth noting here. Let me go back over to highlight this code. This varies from C in another way too. There's indeed no semicolons on lines 3 or 4. But what else is different vis-a-vis the C version here still at left? What's different? How about here? So there's no main, so there's none of this, and there's no curly braces. Yeah, what else? I didn't have to declare the type of the variable. So this too, for better or for worse, is a feature of Python. We'll see that Python has data types. There are strings, there are ints, there are floats, but you don't need to tell the interpreter what your variables are. Rather, Python, as an interpreter, will just figure it out from context. So if you're assigning a variable called answer to what clearly is going to be a string, the type of that variable answer will be a string. If, though, you used getInt or something similar, the type of that variable might be an int instead. So here too, a lot of the things that, why doesn't the computer just figure it out, are baked into Python as features. So if I go back over here after now having implemented this version of hello, we can revisit perhaps something that I glossed over earlier, whereby in Python, the default seems to be to give you a new line at the end of any print statement. But that does kind of invite the question, well, how do you actually get those back, or get rid of that if you indeed do? Well, this gives us a brief opportunity to talk about one piece of jargon in the world of Python and certain other languages, which is that all of these parameters or arguments we've been using for weeks, where you just put a comma separated list of arguments or values inside of parentheses, when calling a function to give those functions input, those have all this time been called positional parameters, because the order has always mattered. The first thing, the second thing, the third thing influences what the function does with those arguments. But in Python and certain other languages, there's also what we're going to call named parameters, whereby you can actually specify not just a generic comma-separated list of values for which the order matters. You can instead provide the name of a variable and its value, the name of a variable and its value, specifically the name of a parameter and its value as a comma-separated list, the upside of which is that it's a little clearer to you, the reader, you, the programmer, what does what. And it's also not nearly as vulnerable to you just screwing up the order and getting them slightly out of order and constantly having to check the documentation as to what goes in what order. If you recall using fread or fwrite, for instance, which takes a few arguments, I mean, those two are particularly annoying. And even I always forget, like, which comes first. If I could just use the names of those parameters, it might have eliminated some ambiguity. So how can we use in Python named parameters? Well, let's just do a relatively simple example that's actually pretty commonly leveraged, which is this. If I, for whatever reason, let me get rid of my C version now, and in fact, let me simplify this and just go back to printing out in hello.py, hello, comma, world. This, as before, will print out hello, comma, world with a new line. If I want to get rid of this, though, I can do that by consulting the documentation for Python. And in fact, the official documentation for Python lives at this URL, docs.python.org. The upside of this documentation existing is that, unlike C, which doesn't really have an official place to go for documentation other than the manual pages that we, recall, at manual.cs50.io have given you student-friendly versions thereof, like everyone in the world goes to this URL